Dear God, am I glad to make another video about this guy. Anyway, hey everyone, it's me, Realm Wars II, and today's been a good day for me. The only class I had today at college was canceled. I had a guy tackle me off a chair because I told him he was going to lose a Smash Brothers match. And what do I get when I come home? I get this. A video by my good buddy Shetsus11 telling me how Jordanriver89 has gone fanboy rage. Once again. Alright. Let's try to calm down here, people. Let's try to calm down. I know, this is funny. This is hilarious. All this great stuff happening to me. This usually never happens to me. I never have days that are just this good. It just never happens. There must be something going on, or maybe some magic is sprinkling around me. Are there any fairies around me? Sprinkling with magic? Well, stop that. That's not supposed to happen. You're spoiling me. Anyway, let's try to get back down on Earth and try talking about this. Alright. Yes, people, this is about Jordanriver89 and his recent bitch fit towards Gligar13 vids because he reviewed Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. Why Jordan get so angry, you ask? Oh, come on, you guys figure it out. He uses Billy Hatcher as his avatar, he constantly plays music from the game. It's obvious that he's a fanboy of the game, and, well, Gligar said the game wasn't good, so considering Jordanriver has no idea what an opinion is, he started lashing out at Gligar for what he did. And oh my god, this was rage in its purest form. And it really does come to show how much of an insult Jordanriver is to black people. You hear this guy screaming about how people should like a game he likes, and all you can think about is, nigga, get back in the cornfield. So yeah, if I can start anywhere, let's begin with the Skype call, the recording, in which that was provided in the link of Shaddy's new video. Jordanriver decided to call him up and tell him how he can't say certain games are bad. He first brought up Billy Hatcher, and then he brought up Legend of Zelda. We're going to begin with Billy Hatcher. Now, if any of you guys know Gligar, in his reviews, you guys know some of his reviews are purposely based on negative opinions just to get a reaction out of people. However, since this is Jordanriver89 that we're talking about, of course he's too dumb to figure that out. After all, even compare Gligar to Mario the Plumber. Yes, people, he still thinks Mario the Plumber is legit. You for real, bro? I mean, really? But apparently, according to Jordanriver89, we're not supposed to not like games that he considers underrated. Because apparently all underrated games are good. No. Underrated just means you don't think it's appreciated as much. If you say something is underrated, that's just your opinion. You can't prove it's underrated. And I know, this is a laugh coming from me, considering I say the same thing about Klonoa. But you see, here's the thing. I know some people who told me that they didn't like Klonoa. Geeks told me before that he played the game, and he told me he didn't like it. However, I didn't rage. I didn't complain. You, on the other hand, the moment you even laid eyes on that review, you were screaming and shouting like a fucking banshee. I am not kidding, people. This guy was screaming and shouting over nothing. Also, according to his logic, we're not supposed to make negative reviews towards underrated games because other people think it's underrated too. So what? Are you seriously saying that just because there's a lot of people who think that the game is underrated, that means we shouldn't say anything negative about it? I would go into the whole, there's a lot of people who believe in one religion, so that must be the true religion, but then there's a lot of people who believe this is a true religion, but so that must mean that religion is legit, but I don't need to ramble just yet. So you really think that we can't say anything negative about a game just because you think it's underrated? Blow me. All this is just Jordan trying to shove his fanboyish penis down people's throats, which he does constantly. It's funny though, considering you tell Gligar to not shove his opinions down people's throats when, one, he's not forcing anything on people, he's just giving an opinion, and two, you do the exact same thing. Who is the guy saying we can't hate on Billy Hatcher? Who is the guy saying that we shouldn't hate Legend of Zelda? Who is the guy saying that underrated video games shouldn't get negative reviews? Not to mention when Gligar says he thought something was good, I couldn't tell what he was saying because Jordan likes to pop in like a leech and drown out everybody with his obnoxious screaming. I think he said Deus Ex something, but that's all I really got. He said that was good. And what did you say? Oh, I don't think so. So why can't you review games properly? Oh yeah, that's not forcing your opinion at all, is it? And of all the things you could have brought up, is that you lost all respect for Gligar. Oh boy, you guys know where this is going. First off, well, when did you even have respect for him to begin with? When was the last time you respected Gligar? So right there, I know you're pulling the sympathy card. And secondly, could you not sound any more pretentious? You honestly think people should care if you respect them or not? You still take Mario the Plumber seriously. I think that shows how credible you really are. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if you're still butt buddies with Unknown Autobot. You're just one of those many idiots who don't have a clue what it means to respect something. You throw it around like blank term and expect people to like you for it. No, you're an idiot and you have no idea what you're saying. And about how he's not your friend anymore, when were you friends to begin with? In fact, I'll go even further. What friends did you have? Last time I checked, the only friend you had was a mentally deficient man who called himself a troll buster. And you're screaming. Jesus Christ, calm the hell down. You are a 20-year-old man, and you're getting pissed off over a guy not liking a kid's game. Dude, I think that asks for therapy, which is funny because you claim to not need it because you can control yourself. Yeah, talk about deluding yourself with obvious lies. Seriously, who are you trying to fool here? You really think people are that dumb? Bro, anybody with intelligence knows that if someone at your age is screaming and raging about some guy's opinion about a kid's game, that warrants special help. Or do you think screaming makes your point stronger, which is not true in the slightest? Screaming just makes you sound more obnoxious and pretentious because you think your ideals are so important that they're worthy of the heavens to hear it. The way you were screaming, I am surprised someone didn't come to your room and say, calm the hell down and have some chicken. And your insults? Jesus Christ, and I think you couldn't get any more uncredible. Really? Like, you guys have to look at the video yourselves. I'll probably put a link in the description of this video so you guys can check it out, but seriously, they're horrible. I also find it amusing that in the middle of the conversation, you're telling a guy to get rid of Gligar. I'm sorry, didn't you want that debate with him? You did the exact same thing to Geek. He basically came in a call with you. You called him up, and he put you in a corner, and you wanted to bail out of it when you were the one who started the argument. No, sir. You don't run away from an argument you started. That just shows people that you were wrong to even start it in the first place, and all it breeds is ignorance. Plus, it shows how much of a coward you are. I also love how you handle people when they point out your contradictions. Gligar mentioned that you keep telling people that he shouldn't force people... Well, he shouldn't force his opinions on people, yet that's exactly what you were doing. So, what did you do? Oh, you rage quit from the conversation. It kind of reminds me of a guy at my college who tackled me out of a chair for pointing out his contradictions, because, you know, apparently Smash Brothers Brawl is serious business. I also like to point out that you supposedly still try helping people. How can you help others when you're a lost cause yourself? You can't even help yourself in terms of controlling your goddamn temper. Seriously, you're as bad as Inferno and his temper. It's hard to take you seriously when the thing you're getting pissed off about is a guy not liking a kid's game. And you want to know something? I didn't like Billy Hatcher all that much either. I don't think it's as good as you make it out to be. The level design is very forgettable. It isn't very memorable at all. Bland set pieces and just doesn't feel good at all. Billy Hatcher is super annoying as a character and is bland. The music is forgettable and the combat is freaking weak. Majority of the enemies can be defeated just by running them over. That's not fun, that's boring. The only reason it worked for games like Sonic 1 is because the speed rush made plowing enemies more fun. In Billy Hatcher, there is no speed rush. You're going the same slow speed throughout majority of the levels, and when you do get more speed going down slopes, it only lasts for like 10 seconds and the speed rush stops. And also, how are you supposed to be helping people with, your supposed constructive criticism when you're just shouting at the guy, calling him a retard and saying how, oh, you're a terrible reviewer, review games the right way? Yeah, that's very constructive, dear sir. Very constructive. Blow me. And, yeah, I guess I'm a terrible reviewer now because I just bashed on an underrated game. Ugh, bro, go suck a dick. And the only reason you're pissed is because the guy didn't like your favorite game. Big deal. It's the internet. Not everyone agrees with each other. It's like how many people will probably not agree with me when I say Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations is a better fighter than Smash Brothers. Just my opinion. You can disagree if you want. I'm not going to rage, scream, and say you're a terrible person for thinking that. And if you wonder which Smash Brothers game I'm talking about Brawl. You, on the other hand, think your opinion is so important that you will lose your respect to anyone who disagrees with you. And I really want to know, what makes Gligar a bad reviewer? Please tell me how he's not reviewing the games right. Last time I saw a review of his, he talks about the premise of the game, he talks about the core mechanics, he talks about the technical problems of the game, and basically, he just brings up everything that you would need to hear in a review. So how is Gligar not reviewing right? If your answer is because he's bashing an underrated game, then you're a retard who needs to go outside and meet real people. For God's sakes, you're in your 20s. You're older than me, and I don't act like you when someone tells me that they don't agree with my opinions. You treat Gligar throughout the entire conversation like he's a petulant child who doesn't know anything, when you're dumber than a hick after a snort of crack. You sound like one, too. And you can say you're not pissed off because I know you're lying. You are lying through your goddamn teeth and are pretty terrible at lying to yourself. I could hear you in the video screaming and yelling. I swear, I was expecting you to erupt like a volcano or wipe out your entire neighborhood like how Mount Vesuvius wiped out Pompeii. At least you'll probably get rid of the white people who taunt you with chicken. Bro, you were yelling so much, I almost expected you to say, now drop and give me 50, Private Pile. And this is all because you didn't like your favorite game. You're going to tell me that doesn't need to seek help? Do you seriously think people are idiots? Do you take people as this stupid? Do you really think that we're that dumb to not see that you are basically lying to yourself? Jordan, I have a serious question. How many neighborhood white kids taunt you outside your basement window? How many drumsticks do they dangle outside your house? And I believe I'm done here. I thank you again, Shaddy, for providing a link to the conversation in question. That was really juicy. And you know something? This might be a video that I will be watching for quite some time. I don't know why, but it's always the Skype calls with Jordan that I always go back to. I don't bother with the Joshua calls or the meta calls. I've always been more amused with the calls with Jordan River. Hell, I still watch the conversation he had with Geek. In fact, it's one of my favorite Jordan River recordings that I've run into. And I'm not just saying that because, Geek was in the video. Oh no, we're just lovers over the internet while TOG isn't around to notice. Boy, he really knows around the X Factor, if you know what I mean. I'm done. I'm just being dumb now. Jordan River, you're stupid. You're a rageaholic fanboy who disapproves all the bastardly things that you're guilty of doing as well. And if I lost your respect for making this video, don't care. Alright, I just got tackled off a chair today by some sensitive pseudo-intellectual just for saying he'd lose a brawl match. You really think I care about your meaningless respect? And the guy who tackled me is just a big retard as you are. And he's just as contradictive too. The only difference is he's as monotone as fuck when you're like a freaking megaphone. I'm rambling now, so until next time, this is Realm Wars and Jordan River. Go suck an egg. See what I did there, people? Oh, and Hobbs, if you're listening and you want to know who that guy is who tackled me, send me a private message. You might be shocked to know who it is.